Good morning, traders. How y'all doing? Good day. So we're gonna look at the charts and do my session here. I am in a Bitcoin long, which is going great. I had a limit order add-on in this 4-hour fair value gap that I missed. I will probably leave that limit order. I probably will leave that limit order. Might limit higher, however. But this one's going pretty good. I wish I had bigger size, but it is what it is. And then ETH, I'm positioned like this. I didn't add on here, and that would be working well. I was concerned about this gap down here and wanted to leave space for it. But overall, it's working. And I could moan and say, I mean, it's really a shame. Like I lost so much, just got out of control, revenge trading, market entering on the way down after making so much on this move up. And my capital is pretty depleted. It's possible if we make it back up to here, I'll be where I was if. But I have to focus not on making money, but being defensive and trading my system and strategy, which for now, again, there's three main rules that I have. One is always use a stop. Two is never risk more than a percentage of the account. And three is only limit orders. Trading only limit orders saves me from scheduling issues that I have. I'm probably going to schedule full-time work with the dolphin tours next month. I'm really loving it. I swam with the whale shark yesterday. It was awesome. Really like the crew. And I can effectively just come in once a day with the limit orders and trade really well. And I have experience doing that. My best months ever, or my best stretch ever where I made the most money was limit orders only, and it was also the least stressful trading time. And then the last thing is that what is it? Yeah, I do revenge trades sometimes, but a bigger problem for me is chasing. I tend to chase. So chasing means, what does chasing mean? Chasing means um, buying high, selling. It's inefficient. It gets me stopped out a lot, and is just not good. But if I limit order, it's really hard for me to chase. So, the current setup situation, I always like to look at the funding rate, and I see funding is actually negative on Bitcoin and is getting increasingly negative, which tells me it's likely going further, and I might like to increase my target. We also see we created this fair value gap and immediately poked into it. We'll get back to that, but I want to look at the funding rate now. This is really interesting, what we're seeing right now. Okay, so if we look at Bitcoin funding rate, and let's put on open interest, and let's put on CVD for Bitcoin specifically. Wow, this is crazy. Yeah, this is where I would want to risk big, but it's kind of too late. I have to risk what I have. So what we're seeing is um, open interest shooting up here as CVD going down and funding going negative. This is actually short interest increasing, it looks like, as funding is from here to here has gotten more negative. And there's a little bit of futures positivity, but we see the move off the bottom is primarily spot driven with a lot of shorting happening. So my expectation is higher, and I could consider, I think for one, I'm interested in having my stop at least right up here, but I'm going to be interested in trying to reposition on pullbacks. ETH's a lot weaker, and unfortunately, I shifted some of my risk to ETH, and ETH hasn't really been performing. So that's a little bit disappointing, but it's still making me money, so can't be too mad. Um, let's look at the setup on ETH and see what's going on here on the ETH, which hasn't even gone fully negative. So it also is not looking like as good a setup as it was. Let's go ahead and take a look at the other metrics here, which would be open interest. CBD. Um, Price locally has stayed about this. Open interest is increasing. This is longs and shorts. Spot hasn't really stepped in to buy too much. So I'm not really loving ETH. Also, my target for ETH isn't up here. I believe my target is right here. So based on all that, I expect Bitcoin to rocket higher. So I kind of want to extend my TP here because look, if short interest is really increasing, I want to consider aiming much higher, but I also want to be prepared to get in on a pullback. $100 million in shorts have been liquidated. Um, I mean, my TP would be a pretty safe place, so I'm okay with it. I like having this one here, but I also like the idea of having, when this forms a entrance in here possibly. So let's look at ETH as well as created this large gap. And we poked off it already, which is a good sign, which says, hey, this isn't an air gap. And also, we look at this little pullback right here. Price going underneath that would be, under these levels would be interesting for a pullback later on. Um, we look at the other things, gold, silver is up a little bit, US 100, 2000. So we're seeing relative strength on crypto. But I told you guys today was likely going to be a green day. If we look at from here to here, okay, Oz 200, JP 225, okay, everything looks good. Let's go through some alt charts. Actually, let's also look at some of this other stuff here. So BNB, straight up, Doge, really strong actually. Wow, look at the strength on Doge. Ooh, look at that big candle right there. ETH dominance continuing down. Probably should just never. Okay. Bitcoin dominance straight up. Aave looks strong. Daily levels and gaps on. I don't really care that much to long alts, but I'm just gonna flick through them real quick. BCH strong. Interesting. Some of them taking the weekly high, like a lot of strength coming in. Ooh, quant. I'm definitely, there's no world that I'm interested. Where did quant go? There's no world that I'm interested in shorts here. I'm just curious. I want to look at what the funding rate is showing for quant. I also want to look at helium. Yeah, literally everything's green across the board. That's why, yeah, you need to just trade one way. Helium, I got out of this short. I just realized, like, this is kind of dumb. Although, wow, it actually would have hit my TP. Interesting. This was my TP. Super interesting that I mean, I don't regret doing it because I don't want to go against the market, but the only one that's red today is the one that I shorted. So that's pretty good. But I ended up getting out of this around break even, maybe a scratch. But yeah, it's super weak. And where was my TP? My TP was just right here. Actually, let's look at max see if it would have hit my TP. It would have, yeah. This was my TP right here. Cool. And yeah, there was a gap right here on some of them. Anyways, let's go back to the action, which is Bitcoin. Given the state of things, I want to have a higher TP. I do want to come out so that I can come back in. So try to compound by entering on a pullback. Maybe right here. Will be good. Maybe like 57,400, I think I'll do. And then I'll just come back later and see where we're at. Wait, did I get filled? No, I don't think so. Did I? Long from 54,500. Long from 225. Wait, what's going on here? Okay, limit, open orders. No limit orders? Wait, what? I'm confused. I did get filled on my Bitcoin long, which is great. Oh, I mean, I got lucky in some way. What happened? What happened? How did I get filled? I got lucky here. Um, I got filled on my pull. I don't have any limit orders. This is not good though, because even though it worked, I don't like it. Point two, my average price was 54,496, and the other one was okay. That's really not good. Even though I got in here, that's great, but it's not good. Um, okay, I want to see what happened. Okay, this one canceled. I put it at 55,000. I think I put the wrong. I think I just put it in wrong, maybe. I put it at 55. Which just doesn't make sense. I guess so. Filled. The other one I was filled at 54,160, which looks right. I think I put it in wrong. It was supposed to be 54,500, and I said 55,000. And the ETH, at 22,250. Okay, ETH I didn't add on. So what happened was well, I got lucky, I guess. It was supposed to be 54,500, but I accidentally got in at 55,000. So that's an awkward mistake, but I cannot be too mad about that. So again, I think based on the funding rate situation, I'm interested in trying to carry higher. I would say at a minimum to this gap, and then I'm going to be interested in, which I can probably put on now. I'm going to be interested in buying in here, a pullback in here, probably from this lower one, but this gap, there is a 4-hour gap here. At the least, I'm comfortable advancing my stop to here. Which would be, I'm going to put it at 54,159. There's this gap below too, but just for protection, 54,155. Okay, stop loss. Okay, I'm gonna put it at, yeah, 54,155. Okay, so now I have a stop. Again, just based on the funding, to me, it doesn't make sense. If I come back and price has gone sideways, yeah, the predicted funding is negative too. Um, I don't know that I love the risk reward on this one, but I think I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna put my, I like this TP is really safe. For ETH, I'm gonna put my stop right here. I'm gonna keep it wide. Still like higher. I'm gonna use this gap as a support over on the 1 hour. I don't like this 4-hour gap down here though. This would be a possible long. Um, could be more aggressive. I'm okay with that because that leaves this as a support in this gap. So let's do that. I'm going to put my stop here at 2240. So I'm taking risk off. And I'm comfortable with this being the TP on ETH. 2408, keeping that, or 2250. Wait, yeah, 2417. No, right here is fine. 2408. I think I'm going to wait on any additional limit order for now. I want to see some target made. And I don't know, the way it's moving, I do want to compound a chance to compound it, but I also want a chance to carry it up to here. Maybe in the far side of this gap, and then I'm gonna look for re-entry. Or maybe I'm gonna aim here, and if things like start to not look as good, I'll change it. 58, 495. Okay, and I think I want to leave this one alone for now. I'll just come back to it. We want to leave ETH alone for now. ETH's a little bit sketchy. I mean, the way it's just chopping upwards, but the funding still looks decent. It doesn't look nearly as good as Bitcoin. Okay, folks, happy trading and much love. Peace.